Paddy Gainey from Cranwell in Lincolnshire, Richard Williams from Eastbourne, John Radmore from Cricklewood in London, Jim Bagwell from Torquay, Steve Meredith from West Bromwich, Bob Arundale from Denton in Greater Manchester, Bob Mackenzie from Glasgow, Lawrence Cook from Kingston upon Hull, Val Dudley from Northfleet in Kent, Matt Bartlett from Canterbury, Rosemary Marshall from Bath, Alan Spreadbury from Potters Bar in Hertfordshire, John Jenkins from Bolton, Jill Rawes from Amersham in Buckinghamshire, and Barbara Gilbert from Harpenden in Hertfordshire are all here to play 15 to 1. Presented by William G. Stewart.
Thank you. Hello. Two previous winners with us today. Steve Meredith from West Bromwich. Welcome back, Steve. And Jill Rawes from Amersham in Buckinghamshire. Welcome back, Jill. Still two empty places on the finals board for which we need winning scores above 122. There it is. And I must say, it looks a pretty high scoring board for this stage of the series. Right. Let's see what today has in store for us. Two questions each in the first round. One correct answer from you to survive. And we begin with Paddy Gainey from Cranwell in Lincolnshire. Paddy, television. The Buckinghamshire village of Turville, including the local church of St Mary the Virgin, provides the locations for which popular BBC comedy series?
I don't know.
The Vicar of Dibley. Richard, please. Literary connections. Which profession linked the writers Somerset Maugham, Anton Chekhov, Oliver Goldsmith and A.J. Cronin?
Lawyers.
They were all medical doctors. John, please. The Beamish Open Air Museum, Barnard Castle and Bowes Museum, all in which English county?
Northumberland.
Durham. Jim, please. Radio. In December, a young lady called Claire Barwick became the first person in Britain to win £1 million on a quiz show. A quiz show on which radio network?
Capital Radio.
Virgin, on Chris Evans' programme. Steve, opera. Which of Benjamin Britten's operas based on a Herman Melville short story is set aboard a man of war during Napoleonic times?
Billy Budd.
Yes, and Bob, this is radio again and music. In Tune, Night Waves and Jazz Notes are regular programmes on which national radio network?
Radio 3.
They are Radio 3, BBC Radio 3. Bob, museums in England. The Cromwell Museum is located on the site of a school attended by both Oliver Cromwell himself and Samuel Pepys. In which Cambridgeshire town?
Ely.
Huntingdon. Lawrence, please. Events of 1999. For what achievement did the Swiss Bertrand Piccard and the Briton Brian Jones go into the record books after a 3-week endeavour in March of 1999?
Was it the fastest crossing across the Atlantic?
No, they were first to fly non-stop around the world in a balloon. Val, please. History of Japan. What name was given to the Japanese warrior class between the 12th and 19th centuries?
Forgotten.
Samurai. Matt. Public life. Rita Donaghy is the president and John Monks, the general secretary. Of which body in public life?
Don't know, sorry.
No, the TUC. Rosemary, please. Awards and honours. In the New Year's honours list, the so-called Forgotten Five, members of England's World Cup winning team of 1966, were awarded MBEs. Two of the five, please. No? Nobby Stiles, Alan Ball, George Cohen, Ray Wilson and Roger Hunt. Alan, this is politics. The holder of which cabinet post has an official government residence at 1 Carlton Gardens in London and traditionally has the use of a country house in Kent called Chevening?
Chancellor of the Exchequer.
The Foreign Secretary. John, London landmarks. On which hill is St Paul's Cathedral situated?
Ludgate Hill.
Ludgate Hill. Jill, please. This is sport again and English football. The League Cup competition has over the years been known as the Milk Cup, the Littlewoods Cup, the Rumbelows Cup and the Coca-Cola Cup. What's it now called?
I can't think.
The Worthington Cup. Barbara, in the House of Commons, what title is given to the Cabinet Minister who has responsibility for arranging the business of the House?
He's not the father of the house.
No, that's the longest serving member with uninterrupted service. This is the leader of the House. Paddy, your second question. Ancient history. Darius the Great was king of which empire from 521 to 486 BC?
Persia.
Persia, yes. Richard, please. Proverbs. A word to the wise is what?
Goose to the gander.
Enough. John, literature. Who created the fictional Watership Down? Richard Adams. Jim, please. Law in England and Wales. What title is held by the law officer of the Crown, next in rank to the Attorney General in England and Wales?
Lord Chief Justice.
Solicitor General. Steve, please. Sport in the year 2000. In which sport will the season commence on March the 12th in Melbourne and finish on October the 22nd in Kuala Lumpur?
Commonwealth Games.
Formula One Grand Prix racing that season. Bob, the USA. Why is the lawyer and poet Francis Scott Key, he was born in 1780, died in 1843, a famous name in the USA?
Don't know.
He wrote the words of the US national anthem, Star Spangled Banner. Bob, which scientist and Nobel Prize winner was named Person of the Century by Time magazine in America in December?
Albert Einstein.
Lawrence, please. Literature, Don Quixote. What's the name of Don Quixote's horse? Rosinante. And Val, please. The National Lottery. 50 pence in every pound goes to prize money. How much goes to charity?
10 pence in the pound.
28 pence in the pound. And Matt, please. Medicine. What does an analeptic drug do? Analeptic drug.
I don't know.
No? It restores consciousness to a patient in a coma or after fainting. Rosemary. Weights and measures. In the Troy system of weight, what do 24 grains equal?
1 gram.
1 pennyweight. Business and commerce, please, Alan. Sir John Kemp Welsh is the chairman of which major financial establishment?
Bank of England.
The London Stock Exchange. John, please. Shakespeare and musicals. Which Cole Porter musical is based on a Shakespeare play?
Kiss Me Kate.
Europe and landmarks, Jill. In which European capital city is Wenceslas Square?
Prague.
Yes, Prague. And Barbara, please. 19th century literature. In which novel by Sir Walter Scott does the eponymous hero serve with Richard I in the Crusades?
Harry with the Wake.
Ivanhoe. It doesn't happen very often, but it is. 9 down, 6 to go. Laura?
And they are Richard Williams, John Radmore, Jim Bagwell, Lawrence Cook, Val Dudley, Matt Bartlett, Rosemary Marshall, Alan Spreadbury and Barbara Gilbert. And the remaining 6 contestants, only one still has his 3 lives intact.
You can relax just a little, Paddy. 6 of you standing. We need 3 for the final. And we start with this. 4 reigning European monarchs are direct descendants of Queen Victoria. Our present Queen Elizabeth is one. One of the other 3, please.
Edward VII.
King Juan Carlos of Spain, Carl Gustav of Sweden and Harold V of Norway. Steve, please. Africa and geography. Which mountain system stretches some 1,200 miles from the Atlantic coast of Morocco to Tunisia?
Yep. Atlas Mountains.
A number, please, Steve.
Number 13, please.
John, maritime history. The name, please, of the ship that sank in the Solent in 1545 was raised from the seabed in 1982 and is now on display in Portsmouth.
The Mary Rose.
A number, please.
6.
Newspapers, please, Bob. 2 national Sunday newspapers are part of Rupert Murdoch's News International organisation. Either of the 2, please.
The News of the World.
And the Sunday Times. And a number, please, Bob.
Number 5.
And, Steve, the royal family and military ranks. 2 of the 5 royal dukes hold the rank of Field Marshal. Either of the 2, please.
Duke of Kent.
Yes, and Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. And a number, please.
1, please.
Greek mythology, Paddy. The name, please, of the beautiful youth, son of Mira, with whom Aphrodite was in love.
Oh, gosh.
Adonis. Again, please, Steve.
Number 7, please.
Medicine, Bob. Gastralgia is pain where in the body?
Stomach.
A number, please, Bob.
Number 14.
And this is sport and history of the Olympics, Jill. The first Summer Olympics to take place outside Europe were held in 1904 in the United States. In which city?
Atlanta.
St. Louis. No, Atlanta was 1996. Again, please.
5.
English history, Steve. Simon de Montfort, Robert Dudley and Robert Sidney all held the title Earl of where?
Essex.
Earl of Leicester. Again, please, Bob.
6.
Bob, astrobiology. Astrobiology is the study or search for what?
Biology, things from outer space.
Well, biology in outer space, so life in outer space, OK.
Yeah.
Yes, right. And onwards, please.
Number 14, please.
And Jill, awards and decorations. The Victoria Cross was instituted by Queen Victoria. Which King George instituted the George Cross?
The 5th.
King George VI in the war, during the war, 1940. Again, please.
Number 5.
Steve, the meaning of words. What is implied if a meeting is described as being sub rosa? S-U-B-R-O-S-A, sub rosa.
Under a roof.
No, it means it's held in secret. Well, it is 12 down, 3 to go, and after the break, 2 Bobs and a John. That's Bob Arundale from Denton, Greater Manchester, and Bob Mackenzie from Glasgow, and John Jenkins from Bolton. They'll be here for the final. I hope you'll be with us.
Surviving contestants in today's 15-to-1 final are Bob Arundale, a computer technician from Denton in Greater Manchester. He works for Manchester Airport and used to take a keen interest in photography, but now enjoys horse racing and going to rock concerts. Bob Mackenzie, who is currently unemployed and who comes from Glasgow. He has worked in the steelworks and in employment training, and for 8 years he was a Glasgow councillor. He still takes an interest in current affairs, and he also likes to compile and take part in fundraising quizzes. And John Jenkins, who is retired and who comes from Bolton. Among other careers, he was in the Army for 25 years and is now the secretary of his local branch of the Guide Dogs for the Blind Association. He is a loyal supporter of Arsenal Football Club, and he also enjoys researching into the work of the Russian jeweller Fabergé.
Thank you. Welcome back. Can you afford to collect his work, John?
None at all.
No. Anyway, Bob and John, put your fingers on the buzzers. Remember, first a buzz gets a chance to answer. First of you with 3 correct answers opens the game up, and after that it's question or nominate, and your immediate target is a winning score above 122 for a place on the finals board. Here we go. History of Parliament. Whose maiden speech in the House of Commons in 1920 contained these words? I do not... John?
Nancy Astor.
Well, I have to say, it was a clever interruption. I had a whole spiel here for you. Right. Fingers back on the buzzers, please. Work this out, please. Which English writer had the middle name Klapka, always abbreviated to K? John?
Jerome K. Jerome.
On we go, please. History of the cinema. The battleship Potemkin in the 1920s, Alexander Nevsky in the 1930s, and Ivan the Terrible, parts 1 and 2, in the 1940s and 50s. Films by which Russian director? John?
Eisenstein.
Yes, Sergei Eisenstein. And 3 correct answers. Question or nominate?
Nominate Bob at the end.
Bob, politics and the law. Who told a High Court jury in December that she emptied her husband's pockets of change every night and would have known if he had received large sums of cash from any source because he would have given it to her?
Neil Hamilton's wife.
I do need a name. No. Christine Hamilton. Again, please, John.
Bob in the middle, please.
And Bob, please, will you look at this and tell me who is this Conservative Member of Parliament?
Theresa Gorman.
And question or nominate?
John.
John, taxation. What is the significance of the figure £4,335?
The level at which taxation is raised, from which taxation can be raised.
Yes, in fact, a single person's personal allowance. OK, and
Bob,
question or
at
nominate?
the end, please.
Pardon?
Bob at the end.
Bob, US politics. A 6-year-old boy named Elian Gonzalez is at the centre of an immigration row and political tug-of-war between the USA and which Caribbean island state?
Cuba.
Question or nominate?
Nominate John.
John, Paris. Which monument stands at the western end of the Champs-Élysées?
The Arc de Triomphe.
And question or nominate?
Bob at the end.
Bob, please, again, geography. What on the continent of Africa are the Limpopo, the Orange and the Vaal?
Rivers.
Question or nominate?
Nominate John.
John, politics and pets. Which cabinet minister introduced his golden retriever puppy to the press in December, a new pet, a dog called Bobby, a nickname reportedly given to his master by Tony Blair during the Labour leadership contest?
John Prescott.
Peter Mandelson. And again, please, Bob?
Nominate Bob.
Bob, please. Art and famous painters. From whose painting entitled Impression Sunrise does the term Impressionism come?
Rembrandt.
Claude Monet. Again, please, Bob.
Nominate John.
John, history. Which 16th century English monarch is said to have selected a bride from a flattering portrait of her by Hans Holbein?
Henry VIII.
Question or nominate?
Bob in the middle.
Philosophy, Bob. The name, please, of the German political writer and philosopher who was the lifelong collaborator of Karl Marx.
Engels.
Yes, Friedrich Engels. And question or nominate?
Nominate Bob.
Bob, look at this, please, and tell me the name, please, of this French writer, philosopher and feminist.
Sorry, no idea.
Simone de Beauvoir. Again, please, Bob.
John.
John. Place names. Which famous village in Scotland derives its name from the house of a Dutchman who settled there with his 2 brothers in the late 15th century?
John of Groats.
Question or nominate?
Bob at the end.
Bob, whose law states that work expands to fill the time available for its completion?
Murphy's.
That's the same as Sod's law. This is Parkinson's law. You have to leave it. And I'm back with you, John. Question or nominate?
Nominate.
Bob, sport and the Olympics. The only athlete to represent Great Britain in 6 consecutive Olympic Games did so in 1976, 1980, 84, 88, 92, 96, throwing the javelin. Her name, please.
Tessa Sanderson.
And question or nominate?
Nominate.
English history, John. September the 2nd, 1666. The significance of that date, please.
It was the Great Fire of London.
And you a Londoner.
Yes.
And question or nominate?
I'll nominate.
Famous quotations, please, Bob. From the words of Lieutenant being an American, Howell Forgy, a chaplain in the US Navy at the time of the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. Praise the Lord and what?
No idea.
He knows.
Pass the ammunition.
Yeah. And again, John, question or nominate?
Nominate.
And Bob, geography. On which continent or landmass are the Sentinel Range, the Queen Alexandra Range and the Queen Maud Mountains?
Asia.
Antarctica. You have to leave us. Now, quietly spoken, John, you have 83 points, 2 lives intact. There are 20 questions. You have plenty of ammunition, certainly for a place on the finals board and even for a place quite high up it. So here we go. In which English county are the towns of Newark-on-Trent, Southwell and Worksop?
Nottinghamshire.
The word sabotage is said to have derived from the actions of French workers who threw their sabots into machines to halt production. What were their sabots?
Clogs.
Yes, wooden clogs. Anniversaries. In Australia and New Zealand, what day is celebrated on April the 25th of each year?
Anzac Day.
It is. The name, please, of the world-famous toy shop in Regent Street in London that in January held its first ever sale in its 240-year history.
Hamleys.
Will you please look at this and tell me, this is sport. Who is that outstanding sports champion of the 1970s?
Bjorn Borg.
OK. The United Kingdom. What title is held by the permanent representative of the Crown in each county?
The Lord Lieutenant.
Sport. Which sport has traditional styles called Devon and Cornwall and Cumberland and Westmoreland?
Wrestling.
Yes. Medicine. Hyperglycemia, spelt H-Y-P-E-R, hyperglycemia, is an excess of what in the blood?
Sugar.
Yes, or glucose. Will you please look at this and tell me, which 17th century Dutch artist painted that self-portrait?
Rembrandt.
History of the USA. Where in 1836 did around 180 men, including Colonel Jim Bowie and Davy Crockett, die fighting a force of some 5,000 Mexicans?
The Alamo.
Still the USA. In which month of the year are presidential elections held and Veterans' Day and Thanksgiving Day commemorated?
November.
Literature. Dr. Faustus, Buddenbrooks, Death in Venice. The German-born author, please.
Thomas Mann.
Science. With what is the branch of physics known as cryogenics concerned?
At low temperatures.
Yes, very low temperatures and their effects. Awards and honours. The businessman chairman of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club was knighted in the New Year's honours list. What's his name?
Alan Sugar.
The Bible, the first book of Kings, chapter 8. What were contained in the Ark of the Covenant?
The Ten Commandments.
Yeah, tablets of the Ten Commandments. Medicine again. What is the purpose of an anticoagulant drug?
It stops blood from clotting.
And Edinburgh, a castle. Sheffield, a rose. Birmingham, an anchor. What's the connection between those cities and those symbols?
They're all essay marks.
They are for those cities. And medicine again. A rhinoscope is used to examine the interior of what?
The nose.
Geography, Ireland. Which Irish river flows through the port of Limerick?
The Shannon.
Indeed. And the game of football. Which English First Division football team plays its home games at Ewood Park?
Blackburn Rovers.
We had a devastating first round, a very tricky second round, and a sensational third round. 283, 20 for those, 303, position number 1 on the finals board, our first winning score above 300 this season, and you are now in the running for our top of the finals board trophy. Well done, John.
Thank you very much.
Well done, Chris. Well done. A Londoner who's lived in Lancashire for 40 years and that still supports Arsenal. Well done.
Absolutely.
Well, that's it. But before we go, and as we have a couple of minutes, two things. Firstly, I recently asked a question about Edward Heath having 50 years uninterrupted service as a Member of Parliament. And we've had quite a few letters and phone calls, firstly pointing out that Winston Churchill was a Member of Parliament from 1900 to 1964, and also asking whether Ted Heath's 50 years is any kind of a record. Well, the answer to those two questions are Winston Churchill's service was not uninterrupted. He was out of Parliament for a period in 1922-24, and although Ted Heath holds the record for the 20th century, a gentleman called Charles Pelham Villiers was a member from 1835 to 1898, a period of 63 years and 6 days, all spent on the back benches. I thought you might find that interesting. Now, here's a map you'll be familiar with. And those towns and cities are the locations of our audition centres all over the country. So if you think you can get to one and you'd like a go at 15 to 1, drop us a line at 15 to 1 auditions, PO Box 273, London, SW15 1HE, and remember, postcards only, please. And a reminder that with the exception of previous winners, we are still accepting applications from anyone who auditioned or appeared on the programme before 31st December 1995. But if you are hoping for a second chance, please indicate as much on your postcard. We'll be back tomorrow. See you then.